Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for tuning into today's video. Today I'm going to be talking about my experience attending Makeup Designory for those who are curious and maybe thinking of wanting to go and you just want to know what it's like. And also I just want to share my, personal experience because it surely was a time. And a quick disclaimer, of course, this is just my personal experience, okay? I'm not trying to, expose anyone or do anything of that sort. So yes, please don't take this video too serious. This is literally just my personal experience. And yeah, I think that's the only disclaimer. So let's get right into it. So I attended Makeup Designory. My first day was January 6th, 2020, which I literally cannot believe that was 4 years ago. So January 6th, 2020 was my first day at Makeup Designory. There was an orientation, I think like a week beforehand, that I went to with my mom, which was just like a simple, rundown of everything. Every class is either 6 weeks or 3 weeks, I'm pretty sure. And so there's a certain amount of hours that you have to get to graduate, to move on, to even be eligible to get your certificate. So my class was actually on the bigger side as far as the amount of people that were in the class. Most classes I've noticed were kind of small, anywhere between 5 to 10 people. But my class, I'm pretty sure, had 15 or 16. I can't exactly remember the exact number, but I know I had a big class. I don't know why 2020 everyone was trying to start. I had a relatively bigger class, which ended up being, when there's a lot of different personalities, things happen, okay? So overall, I learned a lot from Beauty 101. The teacher, oh my gosh, she was my favorite teacher. She was amazing. And I learned so much from her. She was really putting us on game early. Now there was one kind of big drama that happened in the beginning / middle of Beauty 101, or was it towards the end? I'm telling you, this was 4 years ago now, y'all. I don't know. But basically there's this big drama. We had a test, an airbrush test. And I guess some of my classmates thought that the teacher was, or I was a favorite, a teacher's favorite. And one of our classmates had this birthday dinner, where everybody was invited and whatnot. But me and my 2 friends didn't go. And apparently, allegedly, at this birthday dinner, my name was brought up multiple times because apparently I was the teacher's favorite because she followed me back on Instagram. And also at the end of the airbrush test, she gave me a tip on what to do for next time. But I guess someone in the class thought that the teacher helped me cheat on the test. I'm telling you, it was some of the most bizarre shit I've ever experienced. This is how I knew that we were this was still coming out of high school age. Because basically what happened was we had an uneven amount of people in the class, and when we would do tests, we would work on each other. So there was a number system, everyone was numbered, and then there's a big chart, a number chart, and then our teacher would pick who was working with who based off, it was a whole, a very smart system, just so that so you don't pick your own partner, and that's for a reason. I didn't have a partner, I didn't have a classmate to pair up with for the airbrush test. So my teacher grabbed someone who worked in the mud shop, which was the front where anyone can go in, and they have makeup, they have other stuff that you can buy. One of the workers from the shop, she had me do her makeup for the airbrush test. So of course I never worked on her before. And so actually the test ended up being a little bit harder for me than everybody else. So I do the test. Mind you, the teacher does not help me. I don't know who, I know who, but someone felt or maybe they got confused on the timeline, but they thought that the teacher had gave me help before the test, but she did not, because what? So the model, or the girl, she was particularly lighter. She was like way lighter. Like I didn't even have a shade in my kit that was light enough for her. So I was actually mixing a lot of different colors. I had to mix in like literally the color white. Like I had to lighten up everything. So I was actually having a harder time on the test than everyone else. But ended up scoring the best in the class. I got the highest grade in the class. And so after the test, my teacher came up to me and was like, hey, I noticed you were struggling. Next time, if I were you, I would do this, add a little bit of blue. Like she was basically just helping me for next time. And I guess some girls heard that and thought that that was her giving, like, I don't know. It was dumb as hell. Like I still don't really understand it. But yeah, so, and I guess because I got the highest grade, everyone thought that that was because of the teacher helping me, but that just wasn't the case. So that was what was being discussed at the birthday dinner. Mind you, the person whose birthday this was an older man, like a 40-year-old man, who everybody was kind of like, I don't know. It's funny that everybody was like weirded out by him, but they still went to his birthday like dinner thing. And of course I wasn't there, so I was being brought up. And so then I find out about this because someone who was at the birthday dinner tells one of my friends, who tells me that they were talking about me and two other girls. And it was just really weird. So then I was like so confused about like why the fuck people is like bringing my, like, because here's my thing. Like, could I have ignored it? Yes. But I just can't do that. So I was like, one day before class, I basically told everyone like, we're gonna have a conversation like after class one day, because I just want to know what the fuck is being said. And not even in an aggressive way, because I know that can come off aggressive, but I literally was just like, hey, can we all talk after school? Because I'm just hearing these things and I just want to know like why you guys think with this, like why do you think this? So one day we went around back of the school and it was just all of us, and we were just like talking because they were just saying how they felt and I was saying how I felt, and it ended up being fine, except the instigator, which was the man, was not there. Whole time he's hiding around the corner listening to our like little meeting, I guess, and he is like hiding and listening. And I guess I think I'm pretty sure we like mentioned him too, and not in a good way. So he heard that too. So anyway, we end the meeting, we leave. Two girls walk like to where he was, but obviously we didn't know he was there. And he like notices that we're coming and he like runs away, runs across the street and doesn't say anything. It was so fucking weird. But yeah, so that was like the one thing in Beauty 101 where I was just like, why am I being targeted? Like, why are people mad at me? You're mad because the teacher follows me back on Instagram. Like, I'm sorry, that has nothing to do with me. And if you're mad, you just need to step your fucking cookies up, like, period. So that was just like weird to me. So that made me kind of be like, I low-key don't like some of y'all, because truthfully, like, I mean, that's just weird as hell. Like, that's weird. And I must note that I was the only Black person in this class. So to me, I can't help but to think like, why the only Black person is being like targeted right now. Like, I know it sounds like dramatic, but if you've ever been the only one of someone in a big group, it like, you just know. So for those who know, you know. I don't even have to explain it to you. If you don't get it, then that's okay. We'll just move on. So that was pretty much Beauty 101. It was, again, a 6-week class. I learned so much. Like, we learned a lot in this six, like, it was a 6-month course that I took. They have different courses that you can take. I did the full-blown everything course, so that was 6 months. And they really teach you a lot in 6 months. Like, it's actually crazy how much I learned. But I loved Beauty 101. If you want to be a makeup artist and you don't want to do the full thing, you should definitely just take a 101 class, because they teach sanitation, male grooming. They teach how to do, like, or at least my class, we learned how to do red carpet looks, male grooming, bridal. We got to do like avant-garde looks. We learned literally everything, like color theory. So yeah, very good class, just weird drama, but you know, it is what it is. Next class was Beauty 201, which also was hair class. So basically this class you learned how to do like basic hairstyling. We learned how to wash hair, like kind of, it wasn't like cosmetology, but it kind of was like which is funny because when I tell people I went to makeup school, they're like, oh, you went to cosmetology school? And I'm like, no, babes, makeup school. It is different. But in this class, it was a 3-week class. We learned how to wash hair, blow dry, all on mannequins. We didn't work on each other. But wash, blow dry, we learned some styling, how to do rollers, finger waves, like basic braiding, not like cornrows or anything, but like French braids and stuff. And just like, yeah, wedding hair. Like we learned a lot in that class. And the teacher, she had been in the industry for a really long time. So she was also putting us on game. Now the teacher, she was nice, but it was very hot and cold with her. Like it was very on and off. Some days she was really, really nice. And some days it was getting real nasty, real mean and nasty. But you just had to catch her on a good day. Some of the things, it was kind of giving anti-black. I'm sorry. I have to say it. Like, I just have to speak my truth, okay? And the reason I say this, okay? Now, we one day for our, I think it was like our literal last day of class, but like, we had a final, like a wedding final. So we had to do hair and makeup for like a wedding, you know. So I got paired up with one of my friends actually from like who I was already cool with. And at the time, so my hair was straightened and I had just got it re-straightened because I was planning on working with 2 people who worked at the school because they wanted to use me as a model for their portfolio. So I got my hair freshly done so that I could do a shoot for the school, mind you, okay? So anyway, my friend, she does my hair and my makeup, and she, at the end, she was gonna do some hairspray, but then she was like, oh, well, I know you just got your hair freshly done, you know, I don't want a whole bunch of product buildup on your hair. So she like doesn't, I think she does like a little bit of like hairspray or like something or none. So basically when the teacher was grading her, she basically got points off for some flyaways, which mind you, there was like fucking 3 flyaways, but she like was like, oh, why do you have these flyaways? And then my friend was like, oh, I didn't want to put too much like hairspray, because we like the hairsprays we had were like heavy duty shit and kind of left a film on your hair. And she was just trying to respect me and respect my hair and the fact that like my hair is different than like these white girls' hairs. Like it just is. And I can't wash my hair every day. Like that just, it was a whole thing. And so basically the teacher was like, just because she doesn't want product in her hair isn't a good excuse. And then like grades her very harshly and like gives her like kind of a shit grade on the hair portion of the final. And I was just like, what? I don't know. I just felt like it was overkill and not necessary. And then we showed one of the other teachers, because we were at the end of the finals. Sometimes like the teacher will let us walk around and show other classes. So we went to one of the other teachers and he literally was like, said the same thing. Like, just because you don't want product in your hair isn't a good excuse. I'm like, whoa, excuse, whoa. Like, we're really throwing around some, like, that's the anti-black shit I be talking about. Because for you to just act like I'm trying to be difficult without even asking me or like trying to understand why, like why these choices were made, that's just not, it's not cute. It's not cool. Like, as a teacher, like I would want to like know why my student chose to do this versus not, you know, instead of just making it seem like I'm being difficult. It's crazy. So that was like, you know, not fun. And then I remember talking to her one day about, because we were in one of our special effects classes, we were doing bald caps, and we haven't done it yet, but I was just asking her about it. And I was saying how I was worried because we have to put this like heavy duty gel in your hair, and then they would have to wash it out, but it took like a whole bunch of washes. Me washing my hair every day is just not good for our hair. Like if your hair is curly, you cannot wash your hair every day. You just can't. It's gonna dry my shit off. It's gonna make it fucking brittle. I'm gonna waste product because the amount of product I have to use on my hair, it's just like, girl, no. Basically, I was saying how if I wash my hair once, I'm not gonna straighten it again, so it'll just be like, you know, natural, which I was fine with doing. But then I was like, are they gonna be able to do a bald cap on me if my hair is like out? You know what I mean? And she's like, any professional artist should be able to like bald cap natural hair. And I'm like, okay, girly, if you say so. And then, spoiler alert, no one was able to do a bald cap on my natural hair, because what? Every single bald cap ripped when they were trying to do it. So whatever, but we'll get there. Another critique I had of this hair class was that the hair textbook only had one page about natural hair and textured hair. And I found that to be a little bit concerning, because if most of the students here are white, then you're giving them nothing to go on like when they graduate. Actually, let me see if I can find my book for hair class. Hold on. Found it. Okay, so Beauty 201, studio hairstyling. Okay, studio hairstyling for makeup artists. Okay, let's just look at the cover. Okay, okay, you see how we're only working on straight hair mannequins? That's red flag number one. And I know some people might say I'm nitpicking, but am I? Because in the industry, in the entertainment industry, it's not just white people. Like, you're gonna encounter other races, so why not prepare your students accordingly? So that's just red flag number one. Now, I've already marked on this because I was trying to prove a point a while ago. So I'm just gonna show you the page first, and then I'm gonna break it down. So this is the only page out of, how many pages are in this book? So one page out of a 82-page book. So that's actually insane. So that's another thing. All right, so it says, so this is the only page we get, and I have already marked on here a little bit because I had thoughts, but I'm gonna read it to you. African American hair. The main difference between the hair of African American people and the hair of other groups is that African American hair is coiled or very curly, while European hair is usually wavy to straight, and Asian hair is usually straight. So, okay, I'm not even gonna, but I will say one thing. Not everyone with curly hair is African American, or like black, I guess you could say. Like, there's races of people who literally have curly hair, but they're not black. So like, that's one thing, but it's fine. I'm not gonna nitpick too much because it's fine. So there's apparently two types, okay? It says, textured or natural hair has not been chemically altered. The hair is curly, ranging from soft waves to tight coils. Permed or relaxed hair has been chemically altered to straighten or loosen the natural curl. So apparently that's the only two types of natural hair there are: natural and relaxed. Specialty tools. All the tools we use for other hair types are appropriate for African American hair, but occasionally you'll need specialty tools such as large tooth and double tooth combs for easily detangling and parting, so a wide tooth comb, a blow dryer with a pick nozzle to soften the natural wave pattern so hair will accept braids, curl, or a pressing comb, so a blow dryer. Pressing comb, which I'm pretty sure they mean hot comb, babes, call it what it is. An electric or stove heated comb shaped iron used for straightening natural hair prior to curling. Non-electric Marcel irons, a stove, it literally just says stove. Small, like, please, I don't know if you can see that. Right there. Like, you're saying to do black hair, you just need to have a stove on you at all times. Like, are you kidding me? Small portable oven like stove, usually kept in a stylist station. It's like, girl, I'm a makeup artist. Okay, I just need to learn how to, like, this is too much. And it says hooded dryer, which it's like, girl, I don't have a hooded dryer on me. Like, you're crazy, girl. That's just say diffuser. Like, I don't know. Anyway, and then all it says at the bottom is specialty techniques. It says, depending on the hair texture and the intensity of the curls, most techniques used on other types of hair can be used on African American hair. Sometimes, though, a specialty technique is necessary. Pressing curl, straighten natural hair or textured hair with a non-electric pressing comb, and then add definition with a curling iron. Hair wrapping, after applying a straightening gel, comb hair clockwise, smooth and flat. Secure it with a hair net and dry it under a hooded dryer. The hair will be very dry, smooth, and straight. Okay. And then wet set, to shape the hair as you'd like, set wet hair on rollers and dry it under a hood dryer. After it has dried, comb out the hair and touch up with irons if necessary. This technique works best on permed hair. So I guess my issue with that is the only specialty techniques that they explained were all like straightening methods and methods that like require heat. No wash and goes, no like natural hairstyles, no like protective styles. Like, I don't know, something about that gives me the ick. Also, I would like to note that we did not practice on natural hair mannequins at any point, only blonde and brunette straight hair mannequins. And when one of my classmates asked the teacher if they could like use the like if we could use the natural hair mannequins in class, she said we have to learn that on our own time outside of school. So you're telling me we're paying almost $30,000 to learn something at home? Like, that's insane. Obviously, I know how to do natural hair, but you're expecting these non-black people to like figure it out on their own? How are they going to do that? Like, I'm sorry, that's why they came to school. That's why they spent money to come here. So I didn't like that either. I thought that was a little like, girl, like at least offer like some type of after school thing. Like I don't know. So that was like, my kind of gripes with that, but I don't know. It was only a 3-week class, so it's really not like I was in there for too long. Like, but it just wasn't a good time. I can't even lie. Like, I remember the 40-year-old guy in our class, we got paired up for something once, and he was using heat on my hair with no heat protectant. And when I asked him to use heat protectant, he said he didn't have time for that. Like, I don't know. That's one reason I would be a little bit stressed at school, because I was like, literally anything can happen today. But anyway, so that's Beauty 201. That's hair class. This is our book. I have all my books still, funny enough. I don't know why I keep them, but I kind of don't want to throw them away, But anyway, moving on. Now we are in Beauty 301. So Beauty 301 was basically split between business. It was like kind of the business class, and also the class where we got to work with professional models for the first time. So before this class, we only worked on each other, like, worked on our classmates. But this class, we actually got to work with models. So the business portion, basically, we learned how to make an invoice, credit sheets, vouchers. We made our websites there. We made business cards there. And basically they just taught us like how to, like have all of our shit together. And that was a really, really informative class. I'm very, very glad they include a business like kind of thing to the course, because it is really good to know how to make invoices. Like, and now I'm able to help people with invoices and like help make a template. And it just, yeah, they definitely helped that make more sense to me, because I genuinely didn't understand how like people when people would say like, oh, send me an invoice, like I would literally be like, what does that mean? Like what like how do you get the money? Obviously I know now, but it's like they made that very much clear for me. By this time, it was March of 2020. So you already know Miss COVID happened. And I think that happened, the school closed, I think March 15th or 14th or something like that of 2020. And that was, a pause. So we did have to pause. At first, it's so funny because when they first closed, they were like, we're only going to be closed for a week. It's fine. Because, at first they nobody knew COVID was going to keep, 4 years later, who would have thought? But so they were like, oh, we're only going to be closed for a week. So I'm like, okay. So it ends up being a week turns into a month turns into 2 months. And it ended up being closed for a year. So that was definitely sucky. So I ended up going back to Georgia for 3 months, and then I came back here. But yeah, so we were closed, and then finally we got word that we were gonna be opening again. I don't remember, was it like June, July, August? I'm pretty sure it was like, I think it was like end of, I don't remember, but about a year. It was like a little bit, like about a year that it was closed. And I think I'll correct myself on the screen if I'm wrong. But anyway, so yeah, so when they did open again, we had all these regulations because obviously, makeup school, we have to be like right there, like in your face. And if you have COVID, like that's how you gonna spread COVID. So to come back, we had to, at the door, we had to take our temperature at the door. We had to do hand sanitizer at the door. And then when we were in class, like actually doing makeup, we had to wear face shields and masks, which I wasn't against wearing the masks. Like I still mask now to this day. But the face shield, oh my God, it was so hard doing makeup with face shields on, y'all. I swear. We were really down bad because we wanted to go back to school anyway. So it was like, well, if this is what I have to do to go back to school, then this is what I have to do. But yeah, no, them face shields were so difficult. Like I was like, oh my God, I can barely see. Like I need to see. So that was not fun at all. Anyway, so when we come back though, half of our class does not return. Our class became literally like almost half the size that it was. And it was crazy because a lot of people, like in that time, like a lot happens in like 9 months to a year. So some people, they end up going back home and they never came back. Some people did a career change. I know some girls wanted to be an actor. One girl wanted to be a singer. So a lot of them did not come back. They quit because like they just couldn't, like it was too expensive just being out in California, just to be out in California. It was crazy because like the vibes coming back, it was just so quiet. Like nobody talked. Like it was just crazy. Like I think we had all kind of been through it low-key. So that was like, yeah. It was like actually kind of jarring, like to see like just how much things can change in a year. So I think that like definitely shook me a little bit because I realized like not everyone can, just wait around and like how much things can change and just like, I don't know. It was crazy. Oh, and then we worked with the models. That was really fun. We got to do like a lot of our shoots that way. So that was super fun. But yeah, and then we moved on into special effects 201. And it was like the intro to special effects. So bald caps, how to put on prosthetics, kind of what are prosthetics, who created them, like basic injuries. Definitely a very good class. I'm pretty sure this was the class that when I injured my back. So I did miss, I'm so mad. I actually ended up missing 2 of the bald cap days. So that sucked because I felt like I low-key missed a lot in those 2 days, but I literally had a back injury so bad I couldn't walk. And I was on medications and everything. So like I did miss some stuff from that class, which I'm sad about. But yeah, we learned a lot. I think, yeah, we also learned like how to lay hair, how to lay beards, blood tubing, very much informative class. Didn't really vibe with the teacher, unfortunately, for a lot of reasons, truly. I think there's just some people where it's just like you just don't vibe with, you know? Like, I just don't think we're compatible. And I think that's how it was with that teacher. It also was giving a little bit anti-Black on his part. I can't even lie. I literally, it got so bad to the point where I had to literally talk to like the dean of our school about like it, because I was just like, this is kind of too much for me and I don't like it. The teacher, he would, okay. And not everyone's gonna agree with me. That's the other thing. Like, I know that not everyone cares about these things as much as me, but that's you and I'm me. So he would like call things ghetto and ratchet. Mind you, he's not Black. So, and I have a problem with people, with non-Black people calling things ratchet and ghetto and this and that. Like, you don't know, like, girl, where, I know damn well you don't be talking like this at your family reunions. Like, that, there's no way. So, like, homie this, ghetto this, ratchet that, like, girl, what? Like, and then he was also gay. And I noticed that there's some gay men who have this weird like persona that they adopt, and it's just like, this doesn't seem like your personality, like, truthfully. There was an incident with this one girl accidentally doing blackface. And I personally feel like the situation was handled not good enough at all. Basically what happened was, we were doing prosthetics on each other, and I was sitting next to this girl who was getting the makeup done to her. Now, the girl who did the makeup, okay, it was a witch prosthetic, okay? And I know some people are gonna say, oh, well, you're reaching. No, just listen. It was a witch prosthetic, okay? It was like a full face, and she was applying it, okay? And then just starts painting the whole thing black, like just the color black from here to here, okay? So I'm thinking she gonna add some highlight, some shadow, you know, okay. No, there was no highlight, there was no shadow. It was literally the color black, like, okay? And then she proceeds to like start adding like a red lip. Like, like, do you know what I mean? Like, this is menstrual, like, this is giving menstrual, like, even, like, I don't know. And basically the girl who was getting the makeup done to her, because she was like not comfortable with it, which I can't even lie, I felt bad for her. I'm sitting next to her, so she texts me and she's like, Bree, please help me, like, please. And I was like, okay, yeah, I got you, because this ain't cute. I'm like, I think we should call the teacher over and like get him to stop her. I don't know. So the girl getting her makeup done basically is like, asked the teacher to come over, and she's like, I am not comfortable with this. Like, this feels like blackface. That's literally what she said. And the teacher said to her, you shouldn't be telling the makeup artist like what to do, or like you shouldn't be telling the makeup artist like how to, some bullshit. Basically, you shouldn't, like, don't try to tell the makeup artist what to do. So then I was like, whoa, because technically I haven't really said anything at this point. I just texted the girl. And so I was like, oh, that's not at all what I thought you were gonna say. So that put me off. And then basically he tries to get her to, the girl doing the makeup, he tries to get her to like add some highlight, add some shadow, because even objectively, even if we didn't say it was like, oh, like looking racist, it was just not a good makeup. It was just flat. Like, you don't just paint something one color and then that's it. So it's like, he was probably gonna ask her to make highlights and shadows anyway. So she's like being combative and being like, no. So then she just starts taking it off. Like, she doesn't even finish the makeup. She doesn't even try to add anything else. She just starts taking off the makeup. So I'm like, okay, at least you took it off. I don't really care if you're mad. But so then after that, the teacher pulls me out of class, even though I technically haven't said anything. And he's like, oh, how are you feeling? But not even like, how are you feeling? But like, I don't know. Because it's like, I hadn't said anything, dude. Like, you need to be asking the girl if she's good, because she's the one who had it done to her. And it's like, on one hand, it's like, I guess, but it's also like, you're bringing me into something that I haven't even brought myself into. Then I was basically being like, he was basically being like, I talked to her and she said she didn't know, like she doesn't know about that type of stuff. Okay, this girl's Indian, right? But she was born and raised in fucking Michigan. Like, she was born in the US. Like, I'm sorry not to be one of those. I just, it can't be that foreign to you, girl. Like, you telling me you went to the same public school system like, huh? Like, it'd be one thing if you were born and raised in India. Girl, you're from the United States. Stop fucking playing with me. I know damn well you knew what the fuck you were doing. Like, girl. So then, yeah, he tried to be like, she didn't know. And I was like, she's literally from the United States. Like, girl. Anyway, that was a weird situation that I did not vibe with. So that kind of annoyed me a lot and kind of put me off, but you know. But yes, so that was pretty much that class. And yeah, definitely learned a lot. Didn't vibe with the teacher, but you know, it is what it is. And then my last class of this whole thing was Special Effects 301, which was Special Effects Lab. And that's where we learned how to make our own prosthetics, learn how to live cast. Like, I loved this class so much. I learned so much. This like made me realize how much I actually wanted to do special effects. So the teacher, oh my gosh, amazing. He was an angel. Yeah, like I literally have no complaints. Like, he taught us everything. He was putting us on game. He was amazing. But because this was still COVID time, basically I'm pretty sure a girl in our class got COVID, and then not our whole class, but if you weren't vaccinated, you had to take like a week or two off. And I had 1 out of 2 of my vaccines. And so I also had to take a day off because I forgot to get my second one. It wasn't even like I was trying to not get it. Like, I literally just got a fresh COVID shot, but I just kept forgetting to go get my follow-up. So I only had 1 of my shots, and there was about 4 of us who didn't have our full shots of COVID, like our COVID shots. So we had to, towards the end, we had to basically quarantine. And so obviously we actually ended up missing the end of the class. And so the rest of our class graduated before us, and 4 of us had to do this little mini class to finish our hours. And so we ended up working with like the dean of our school, like the director of our school, the director of education, and like the guy above him ended up being our teachers, not our regular teacher. So it was basically like a tiny class of us working with these 2 teachers, and it actually was pretty fun. I enjoyed it. We were doing fiberglass molds, and we did our final in that little 4-person class. So that was nice. I definitely wish that I graduated with the rest of my class, but it is what it is, you know. But yeah, so that's pretty much that. Overall, definitely learned so much of that school. Like, literally I wouldn't change going there. Like, I would definitely go there. Like, if I had to do it all over, I would go there again. I just do feel like there's a lack of like diversity within the staff, and obviously they can't control what students come, so it's not even like I'm saying like I'm blaming them, but there is a lack of diversity, unfortunately. And it is a little bit hard when you're the only Black person in your class, or whatever. And I do feel like the curriculum could be slightly updated, because I just feel like a lot of them are not getting their full education when you're not learning about deeper skin tones and you know, textured hair as much as you should. And I just feel like you're leaving with half the knowledge, you know? Like, there was people in my class who couldn't even shade match me. Like, hello? Like, I'm not even, like, I'm very much just like in the middle. And I'm like, if you can't shade match me, you have a problem. Like, and a lot of them couldn't. Like, if I can find some of the pictures, I will put pictures of them doing my makeup, and I looked freaking crazy. So that was that really made me mad. Like, bro, we need to teach these hoes how to fucking shade match, because hello. And I will say, this definitely is kind of, you know, on the expensive side, but save up for sure if you would like to come. It's worth it. It's just, it is expensive. Like, I had around almost $3,000 saved before I went to the school, and I spent like almost 2,000 of it within the first week, because you have to purchase the makeup kit, which was like 2,000. And it was, yeah, your pockets will be drained. But if this is something you really, really want to do, definitely do it, because I don't know if I would be where I am right now if I didn't go to that school. I literally got my first like real job from a recommendation, like from one of my classmates. And if I hadn't done that, like I wouldn't have really, like, I don't know, who knows? I will say who knows where I would be at if I didn't go there. But they have a job board. I got my first commercial job. My first ever, like, I worked with McDonald's. Obviously this was before, you know, all that. But I worked with JBL, like, from my McDonald's connection. So it's like they really did put me on. But I will say, you know, it has its problems too. You know, no school is perfect. So but it was definitely a time was had, and COVID happened. So I definitely have not like a nostalgic feeling, but like I just have, you know, a feeling that will never, like I'll always remember my time there, just because so much stuff happened there. But overall, it was definitely an experience. But yeah, so that's pretty much the end of today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.